Hey YouTube, so in this video I'm going to be teaching you how I go through a hive and feed in the summer dearth. So here we are in late July and there is not a lot going on as far as nectar and pollen, so it's definitely time to feed this hive. Last time we left off there was no queen. Find out what happens in this one. Now here, before we get kicked off, I want to kind of showcase this new smoker I've gotten from Better Bee. I'm not in any way affiliated with Better Bee, but I really appreciate this smoker. In the past, I've typically used pine needles and grass leaves like this, but Better Bee also sent me these for free, and I really like these. It's a smoker fuel sample they sent with some products I had purchased from Better Bee, and you can see how they just really work well. So it's kind of like a cloth that ignites really well. Whenever I'm using my smoker, I always use a Bernzomatic torch. It just makes things easier and the process go a lot smoother when lighting my smoker. But I found this product to be excellent. I found it to light well, it stayed lit longer, and it produced a really good quality smoke. So as you can see here, it's just giving off a lot of that good quality, low heat white smoke that you want to look for when you're using your smoker. So I'm going to go ahead and dive on into how I feed today. I use regular, just plain old granulated sugar. I use a bucket and a wooden stick. Makes it super easy. Now, a lot of people would tell you that they like to use boiling water to mix this. I've found that if I use a garden hose and I turn it on and kind of leave it out in the sun, it warms up that water and it works really well. That's just what I do, so you'll see me here using that jet blast on the water hose and using the stirring stick to mix that up. I find that that works great for my purposes. Now this product right here, again, I'm not affiliated in any way with Better Bee, but this is the Hive Top Bee Max feeder. I really like this feeder. It prevents the bees from drowning. So you can see there's an acrylic piece off to the side there, and the bees will climb up in from underneath, climb all the way up that styrofoam, polystyrene, whatever it's made of, and climb down the acrylic, which you sand a little bit to give it a little bit of grippiness. But I just poured about 4 gallons of syrup. This is just that 1-to-1 water and sugar mix. Poured that into this Bee Max top feeder, and the bees will easily be able to climb up in there and drink that sugar water syrup. So that'll be a great time for this summer dearth. It's time to go ahead and dive into the inspection. I'm excited to share that this colony is in fact queen right. If you followed along and watched the last video, you'll know that I was questioning whether I had a laying worker or a queen right colony. And in this case, you're definitely going to see that I was successful at having a queen go off on a mating flight and return, being a fully mated queen, and being a very prolific egg layer. In fact, she is doing phenomenally well. You're going to see from the egg pattern and the brood pattern that she's doing a phenomenal job. And I'm really excited now about this hive. I'm excited to see where it has come from and where it is going. And it's performing really well. So again, this is the Flow Hive 2 Plus. It uses frames without any foundation, which this is the first time I've had a colony that I've used frameless foundation, or waxless foundation rather, and I really enjoy seeing the process of how they draw down the comb. You do have to be a little bit more careful and more gentle. You can see I'm working really slowly through this hive. I always work really slowly to not agitate the bees, but even more so because you don't want to rip off the comb that's hanging down. So you're going to see here as I pull this out, a beautiful brood frame here that's got a beautiful edge of capped honey. It has a nice pollen band, and then definitely what we're looking for here is that it has a lot of capped brood, larvae, and some eggs are present as well. So we know the queen has been here very recently. I love the look of this capped brood. You can just see that beautiful color Looking inside these cells, you can see those C-shaped larvae. So the larvae are looking great. They're in that perfect C shape that we look for when we're looking at larvae. They're white color. They're doing well. And so this queen is laying really well. You can even see, you can identify a couple of eggs in this image. If you look closely, they look like little white grains of rice, as well as those larvae that are growing. So you've got those various stages of egg to larva to capped brood, and it will emerge soon. So I'm going to go ahead and get this hive all wrapped up and put back together. But in summary, a couple of things from today. One, we definitely have a queen right hive, and I'm very excited about that. I was very worried in the last video. I saw eggs in pollen, and I thought, you know what, do we have a laying worker? But it just ended up being a queen that didn't fully have everything together just yet, but she's doing great now, and that's great to see. And then we also talked about feeding. So I do feed 1-to-1 sugar water in the summer dearth. That's when we don't have that honey flow, we don't have the nectar, we don't have all the flowers. There's still some clover, but it's quickly fading off. I don't have the honey supers on right now, so I'm not worried about my honey just being formed from sugar. So I'm good to feed on this hive right now. Coming soon, I'll probably be doing a Varroa treatment on this hive. It's that time to where I need to do that. So thanks for watching.